On Thursday marks 50 years since Japan and China normalized diplomatic relations. Many events commemorating the anniversary have been held in China this year. But the atmosphere is subdued rather than festive due to friction over Taiwan and the Senkaku Islands in the East China Sea. Japan controls the Senkaku Islands. The Japanese government maintains the islands are an inherent part of Japan's territory. China and Taiwan claim them. Visits between Japan and China have also been at low levels because of the coronavirus pandemic. Catastrophic floods in Pakistan have caused over 1,600 deaths since mid-June. More than a third of the country is underwater, with at least 33 million people affected. Life has been severely disrupted and many are struggling to get basic necessities. In the worst-hit area, Sindh province, a flood victim had this to say. "I was working in the fields, but the land has been submerged. There's nothing I can do. I need help." Officials say half of the province's farm fields are underwater. The provincial government says it could take 3 to 6 months for the water to completely recede. Sri Lanka's president says he's trying to guide this country out of an economic crisis. Ranil Wickremesinghe asked Japan to play a leading role in negotiations with its main creditors. In a meeting with his counterpart, CF Mu, Wickremesinghe took office in July after anti-government protests forced his predecessor to flee the country. Sri Lanka owes massive amounts of money to a number of foreign countries, including China, Japan, and India. It suspended repayments due to the economic crisis. The president said the next important phase will be talking with the creditors. U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris has blasted China and pledged continued support for Taiwan's self-defense. She gave a speech on Wednesday at a U.S. naval base near Tokyo. She accused China of using U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's visit to Taiwan as a pretext for military exercises. Harris said Washington anticipates further aggressive behavior from Beijing as it attempts to unilaterally undermine the status quo. But she made it clear the U.S. would not be deterred. The United States believes that peace and stability in the Taiwan Strait is an essential feature of a free and open Indo-Pacific. Harris stressed the United States does not seek conflict with China or a Cold War. North Korea fired 2 ballistic missiles Wednesday evening. The second launch in less than a week. South Korea's military says the North fired short-range ballistic missiles from Sudan near Pyongyang towards the Sea of Japan. Japan says it believes they fell into waters outside Japan's exclusive economic zone. Defense officials say the missiles could have been capable of following irregular flight paths. It was North Korea's 20th launch of the year. It came ahead of a visit by the U.S. Vice President to the Korean demilitarized zone. Germany has held its first drills in Japanese airspace as part of its pledge to be more involved in the Indo-Pacific region. 3 Japanese, 2 fighter jets and 3 German Eurofighter jets took part. Japanese officials say the drill involves formation, training to improve communication and tactical skills. The exercise is part of a shift in Germany's policies toward China. Berlin has become increasingly concerned about Beijing's move to expand its maritime reach. South Korea and China are raising concerns about Japan's plan to release treated water from the crippled nuclear plant in Fukushima into the ocean. Representatives of the International Atomic Energy Agency reviewed the plan Tuesday in Vienna. The South Korean delegate expressed concern. This would be the first case in history where contaminated water created as a result of nuclear accident is released into the sea. China's representative said safety has not been ensured. Japanese Ambassador Ihara Takashi defended the plan. Everything will be done in a safe and sound manner and everything will be under the strict today view of the IAEA. Rain and groundwater. It's treated to remove most of the radioactive materials. But the filtered water still contains tritium. The Japanese government plans to discharge the treated water into the ocean next year after it's diluted far below safety standards.